Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Am I frozen?
Yes, a bit. Yes, you are. But good again. Yeah, it's fine.
Good afternoon, Gossip Talk Shows family. It's Nomsa here at Gossip Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. So with me today, I'm with Claudia Passa. How are you, Claudia?
I'm very well, thank you. And hello, everyone.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the topic today is how to stop attracting toxic relationship. Many people find themselves repeatedly attracted to toxic relationship, where patterns of control, manipulations, or disrespect seems to emerge again and again. So breaking this cycle can be a very, very challenging, but it's entirely possible with the right approach. So if you are that person who has always find themselves in a cycle of attracting toxic relationship. So today we're going to share some tips. And Claudia, I know you chose this topic. What was on your mind when you actually chose this topic?
Yes, absolutely. Well, yes, just like so many of us, until we break the cycle, what you just said as well, can have like thoughts in regards to, oh, it's happening again, things are starting quite well at the beginning of the relationship, we just met someone and we might think this is it, it's finally the partner or the healthy relationship are always wanted after the last one as well, but then as well before long the red flags start creeping in again, so it's just about this to highlight this, because in the end as well, if we want less toxicity in our life and relationships, it is, yeah, we just have to understand a few things and to face as well some truths. And one of the thing actually is as well, you said it's about to breaking the cycle, because it will repeating itself, just like until you finally see this, the red flags, and identify and actually as well become aware of them and you do something about them as well. Yeah.
I like that, Claudia, when you say it becomes a pattern, it becomes a cycle. Because what happens is we know what we don't want in a relationship. We know the traits that we want. We know what we don't want. But at the end of the day, we ignore the patterns. When you're attracted to bad boys all the time, it end up being a cycle. And there are some men who are attracted to bad girls. There are some women who are attracted to bad boys. And that becomes a cycle. So it's really, really important when you enter a relationship to go through healing. And once you go through healing, and remember when you go through healing, you don't go through healing for the person that has hurt you in the past. It's for you. Some people will be like, why do I have to go through healing and go through forgiveness? But it's just for you to go through that. So when you actually finish that healing, you'll be able to say, you know what? I can't go for these guys. No matter how attractive they are, or no matter how much money they have, I cannot go for them. And from the beginning, when you go on a date with somebody, you actually see the toxic, like you see the red flags straight away. Over to you, Claudia.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is as well, the red flags are already there. And with each time we choose to be in a toxic relationships, the red flags are topping up actually sooner than later for us, because in the end as well, it's about for us to understand, to see it, to be able to identify it, and then to choose to do something about it, like, yeah. So basically the message is here, you should not ignore the red flags, okay, yeah. because they are there as well to show you what's going on. But so often we are just in the stage of denial, okay? And we just don't want to know the things. But the thing is as well, when someone tells you actually as well who they are, then believe them as well. Because again, here, you know, the person as well opposite of you might be actually honest, quite honest about who they are. But then again, we tend to go into denial and we don't want to see, and even they are telling us, you know, and we are still not seeing and not believing it. Okay, yeah. So yes, we should not ignore the red flags, basically.
Also, some people, they worry about their age. They just go for, like, they allow people to take them for granted because they worry that because I'm this age, no one is going to want me. If 100 years person can meet somebody, a spouse, so what is stopping you, like, searching for the right spouse? So it's truly, truly, really important to make sure that when you're searching for that love of your life, and just recognize the common traits in your past relationship that feel unhealthy. Right? Sometimes you can write these things down, like the things that, like, if a man likes to control, or if a man lacks of respect, or if a man is very manipulative, and all these things. And also, like, if a man, like, he blames, because a man is designed, guys, to be gentle towards a woman. Has to be gentle. Any man that raises a voice, no matter how wrong a woman is, a man has to calm down. They have to stay, like, grounded and calm down, and just because that man is a well-cultured man. But if a man raises a voice in a point where they feel like they want to hit you, and then after that they tell you it's your fault, it's because of what you've said or because of what you've done, and if you feel, oh, this is the right behavior, over to you, Claudia.
Yeah, you already did say as well, manipulating as well, you know, that actually the bad guys here, the bad people or the bad women as well here, they like to manipulate others, okay? And then it's as well to look within you, because there are actually quite a few truths where which can apply to you, where it could be easier for the other party as well to manipulate you. And one is, for example, as well, are you always looking for validation outside of you, you know? Because if so, it's easy for the toxic person as well, just like to get close to someone who needs external validation as well, okay? And all it really requires for the toxic person is, like, just basically to give you some compliments and you fall for it as well, you know, just because you don't have established as well yet a good sense of self-love, you know, your truth and your value as well, you know, the self-worth as well inside of you, you know. But if we don't have this core understanding of self-worth and self-love and as well to begin with, and we look for something outside, then obviously it is easy as well for this toxic person, just a few compliments, just a little bit sweet talking you, and then they actually can get to manipulate you as well into doing the things as well to earn their favor. Yeah.
That's actually true, Claudia, that they truly will manipulate you. As long as you actually understand your own needs and your own boundaries as well, define what you need in a healthy relationship, write down those things, like if respect is important, or trust and emotional support. like set boundaries around behavior you won't tolerate. So when your boundaries are very, very clear, it's very, very clear to see when someone crosses them, allowing you to step away early if necessary. So it's truly, truly important, guys. I urge every woman out there or every man out there that believes that, okay, the age, like I'm getting old, like myself, I'm 46. I don't see anything wrong or any barriers that can actually stop me finding that special person. I hear women saying, Nomsa, is not easy to find men out there, like if you're not in your 20s or in your 30s. But the truth is, why it's not easy is because that man is searching for me, I'm searching for him. So I have to find him. Eventually, I have to find him. And also, if I'm with God, it's easy for God to connect me with the love of my life, if that love of my life is actually out there. So you don't have to believe your age is a barrier or having children is a barrier. If you are meant to find that special person, there's nothing can stop you. Nothing. There's everybody for everybody. So you don't need to settle for options like to be an option in a relationship. And you don't need to settle for less to say, okay, I'm going to put up with this person because no one is going to want me. So if there's any man out there who is making you believe, tell them to pack their bags and leave. Honestly, just say how much Nomsa says you are not worth it. I mostly, God forbid, a man that is toxic towards a woman, and a woman who is toxic towards her man. So you don't have to date somebody that does not respect you. So we have to respect each other. Where there is no respect, there is no hope, there is no relationship. So just know that you're beautiful as you are. People make up. What stories, Claudia, do women make up like your clients in their head?
You just mentioned a few already, a few of these myths where the person thinks they're too old or nobody wants them because of their baggage or their children or something. It's just all these are already stories made up. But the thing is as well, if we keep telling ourselves those stories, okay, yeah, that's the thing. The universe can't do anything else than to confirm you exactly what you are telling to yourself. So this is why it's important to identify the stories you are telling yourself and just to see as well, they're just stories you might have picked up somewhere in the social media and the collective consciousness, obviously as well through your previous experiences too. We form as well like the stories in regards to us and the relationships or beliefs as well, how you would like to call it. But if you really go, like if you really dismantle and look at it, it's just like stories or lies, even better, lies we keep telling ourselves. But the thing is to understand here, when we tell or believe or think this about life and about the relationships, the men and the women outside there, then it can only be confirmed back to us what we believe and we think. So yeah, just please be careful. And and boundaries, absolutely very, very important as well in this topic, because the boundaries communicate to other people that we have self-respect, yeah. And this is as well something we have to learn in life. Again, as I mentioned before, the self-love, the self-worth, the self-respect, and we will always get people, circumstances into our life to teach us those things, and boundaries are part of it as well, okay? Because boundaries, it can be like boundaries for like your time or your emotional energy. This is what I do at this time, I set boundaries for the energy I feel like, I'm getting by spending with certain type of people as well, or your well-being as well. No matter what it is, boundaries can look in different ways, but a lack of boundaries communicates then as well to the toxic person that you are basically an easy target as well, to take advantage of. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and then as well easy target, and then as well easy again for you to be manipulated. But sometimes as well we have to go through the lessons, we have to be in this cycle to understand those things, to have gotten through this, to then have the aha experience, to realize it, to actually see as well what had happened in this particular relationship or situation as well, for us as well, to see the learning, to develop better self-respect and boundaries as well. And for us, next time around, we attract someone that it's not a toxic person.
And also what Claudia has said as well, and also when you split up with somebody, and that's why if you look at it, sometimes when somebody split up with somebody, they'll go and date somebody who is similar to that person. Try to go through thorough healing, cleansing your soul. Because what happened is when you split up with somebody, if you had cared deeply cared for that person, and maybe they've abused you and the relationship ends, but because in your heart you do care for that person, the part of your soul gets left. Whoever we care for, if we fight with them and we move on, the part of our soul stays with that person. But we then have to have the time to cleanse ourselves. When you cleanse ourselves, it means you remove every part of you, every attachment that was attached to you, to that person, you remove it. So you move on for good. Like instead of missing them, but you come, your heart, in your mind, in your subconscious mind, you actually accept that this relationship, it wasn't good enough, it wasn't good for you, and it's time for you to move on. So you don't go on and attract the same people, attracting the same cycle, the same person. Once you do your healing, once you do you cleanse your soul, you can summon your soul to wherever is caged, wherever you've left it. You can summon it to come back to you, that part of your soul to come back to you. And when it has come back to you, that cloud of attraction, because if you keep attracting the same person, that means there is a cloud that needs to clear it. So that's why you find some people, they'll go into a toxic relationship, but once they go through healing, they don't go back to the similar relationship. They move on to completely a new relationship. That relationship is what they desire, is what they want, not to keep repeating the same cycle. But those who don't go through cleansing is when they go through the pain, they go through the suffering. Is there any process, Claudia, with your coaching that you use for healing for your clients? If someone they've gone through like pain, or do you just coach them and stuff?
Well, the thing is as well, within the healing, it's about understanding the lesson, okay? So once the client actually sees the lesson or sees the pattern as well, yeah, that has been reoccurring, and what the lesson is as well within, what they actually have been learning. Because when we look back, we tend to see at some stage as well, okay, so through this, being with this person, being treated like this by them as well, I've learned so and so. It's usually just the aha moment, and this is when actually as well, most of the times the healing already occurs, just to understand the lesson, because then we are really there with awareness, and we would not really try to go for this or to choose this or to let this happen the next time as well, because it really finally sink in. Something else as well. Yeah, respect as well. You did say earlier too, that the person outside, in this case, the toxic person, is not respecting us. But the thing is as well, the people outside don't treat us. They always treat us the way we think about ourselves, or the way we treat us as well. So I would like you as well to understand this, that if you feel, the feeling is that you are not being respected, so then really just go within and ask yourself, where in your life, in which area, in which part, you don't respect yourself, because the person outside as well is just acting and behaving how you are being towards yourself. Okay, so just this is as well something I work a lot with, the mirror outside, because if you just open the eyes and you can see as well what's going on, this is everything a mirror to what's inside of you. So if you feel like you're being disrespected from outside, so where do you disrespect yourself? Okay, just go within and just be honest as well, because obviously it starts everything from within first, within, inside, and then we go out.
Yeah, I think this is very, very important to actually evaluate and reflect on what Claudia is saying, to truly evaluate where, if there is part of us where we don't respect ourselves. And also, is actually okay not to feel unworthy, so that you can work on yourself. Don't make it wrong when you feel like there's part of you where you feel, oh, I feel like I'm not worthy. Okay, so how do I move forward now to work on myself so I can feel value? I can value myself, and so people around me, because in order for NOMSA to value you, you have to value yourself. So you can't expect to be in a relationship for somebody to value you if you don't value yourself. And when that person, and remember, we don't have control of how people feel about us. If you feel that, what, I feel okay, I feel I value myself in every area of my life, but this person is still behaving towards me the way they behave, it means there's a part of that person that they themselves, they need to work on themselves. So it has nothing to do with you. So therefore, you can't change somebody and force them to go and make some changes in their life, meaning you yourself have to make a decision whether you want to be in that relationship or you don't. And remember, even God himself does not force anybody. He says, come to me with your burden. And when you go to him with your burden, you got to be really ready to change your life. You have to be really ready to cry and surrender and say, God, I surrender my life to you. I need some changes in my life. So cleansing is the same thing. You got to be you got to put your needs first before you put NOMSA's needs. You got to put, people say, my children come first. And I always say, how can your children come first? If you yourself don't come first, you can't look after the kids if you can't come first. So it means your needs, it has to come first in order to fulfill somebody's needs. In order to look after your kids, you have to put your needs first, meaning emotionally, you have to look after yourself. And when you look after yourself, the other person that is receiving that love, they'll receive it with grace, because there's no pain in it. So I don't know, Claudia, if you want to, but that's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely important. It's how can you look after others if your cup is not filled, or if your energy is low? And this is as well, I like to use the example on the aircrafts and then the aeroplanes and the oxygen. You know, I've been a flight attendant in the past, and you pull out your oxygen mask for you first. You come first, and then you help the young ones and the elderly as well. So just like you first, but we tend as well, just like, I don't know, it's just like all engraved that we feel guilty about it. But again, it's just like, if we really understand it, it's how can we be able as well to help them if we are not good first? And something else as well in regards to worthiness, you know, there are as well some, I don't know, like different ideas about feeling worthy outside, as in ideas or beliefs or thoughts, because as well it stems from childhood, because at a very young age, we think, or we are being taught, that we have to achieve something in school or kindergarten, or we have to do something so that we earn to be worthy, you know. So this is something we learn in childhood, and then obviously as well, just like we grew up with this, but it's just like such a misconception, okay? Because in the end as well, we are worthy just because we are here, and full stop. There's nothing less or nothing more. No one is more worthy or less worthy than another person or another soul. It doesn't exist. We are all equal and all the same. So just like think of a newborn baby, just like go back to this example, and they are just newborn and they don't have all this, how do you say, beliefs or how the world is set and it has to be. They don't have any of it yet. Yeah? So they are just like in their joy, and they're feeling so worthy of everything, and that they want food, they just cry, you know, they laugh if they feel joy and everything. Just like think a bit of this. And we were as well once like this. But what happens is we grow up, and then we, just like we are being sold that lie again, that we have to do something so that we achieve to be worthy. But this again, you know, finally I fired myself as well from believing this story, you know, because we are all worthy no matter who we are and where we are and how old, how young, doesn't matter. Doesn't make sense, Nomsa, yeah? Yeah.
It does make sense. It does make sense, Claudia, because you know there are people who say I'm gonna be happy when I meet my husband, or I'm going to be happy when I meet my wife, or the woman that is going to accept me for me. And some people they're like, I'm going to be happy when I make this certain amount of money, and I'm going to be happy. It's like all these things, they're lies that we tell ourselves. Happiness, it comes from within. When a happiness is found in your life, you will never ever be disappointed. Even if things go wrong in the business, you still hold on to that happiness. You still hold on to God. For me, I used to think that when I make this kind of money, my friends they're going to accept me. I'm gonna have lots of friends. When my business does this, I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have this. Or when I win this, I'm gonna have this. But I realized a long time ago that the happiness is found within. And when that happiness is found, guys, you can never ever be disappointed in life, no matter when things go wrong, because you still hold on to you. You still hold on to something that you believe in, something that is greater than anything else. And for me, which is God, I look at my life. If things goes wrong in my business, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stress myself, because if I stress myself today, tomorrow things will be sorted out. And if things are sorted out, my health won't be sorted out. So it's the same with the relationship, guys. People say, I'm going to lose weight. When I lose weight, I'm going to be happy. If you look at me, my pictures, I've lost so much weight, but my intention is not losing weight. I'm not actually losing weight. I'm just praying and just just enjoying my life. Where there's hope, I believe that there is life. If you date somebody, guys, that does not respect you, nor that demand respect from yourself. When you demand respect from yourself, not from the other person, you will know that this relationship is not good enough for me. Because when a man or a woman does not respect you, it does not mean that you have to tolerate that because you want to have children. Because you can, I was watching on YouTube, I think yesterday, they were saying old mothers, the numbers are rising, people having children at the old age, like in their 50s, the numbers are rising. So it shows that things are changing. So you don't have to be with somebody because you're scared of your age. You can find a man at the age of 70. I spoke to so many women, honest, and they tell me, Nomsa, you don't understand. When you go on these dating apps, men, you don't want, the moment you say you're 40, they don't want to know. I'm like, so that if I'm 40, that means there's somebody who is 40 who is looking for somebody similar their age. It meaning these people, they're looking for supermodels. They are looking for women. I'm not sure whether it's me, Claudia. I think for me personally, they're not really looking for someone for a long-term relationship. They're looking for somebody to model for them. Because if you're truly, truly looking for a serious relationship, if you are in your 40s, you can date somebody that in that age range. Or if you are in your 40, you can date somebody 39, 38, 37, 36. Yeah, you can do that. But not to say, like, I can't find the love of my life. Who said that? God has a final say. In my church, we call people out. We say, if you say I can't have this, are you my God? No, you're not. You're not my God. So the words that we speak, our thoughts, they determine how our tomorrow is going to look like. Over to you, Claudia.
Yeah, I like to add as well something you said as well before is people think I'm going to be happy when, when the relationship comes or when I get the promotion or when I buy the house as well. So if we have this kind of thinking again, we think of something outside is validating our feelings, our happiness again. It's like the validation we give something outside of us. And if we are really, really, like honest, and we all have been in situations where we thought something outside will give us happiness or the validation as well, the fulfillment, but it didn't really last, did it? Like the new handbag or something, or it's just like a couple of weeks, the new car, you get excited about it, but then it just wears off because again, we did it wrong. We are looking outside for our inside well-being, but the thing is as well, we have to look within. So basically as well, so with the relationship as well. So what do you feel like you are going to feel when the relationship comes into your life? Okay, the healthy one. So what is it you are after? Is it happiness and time together, intimacy as well, like loyal as well, a partner, a relationship as well, all together in one go, the best friends? So what are you after if you are thinking of that relationship? And these are the things you are craving actually as well. And if you can then actually find a way to give them to you first, so that you can give this feeling you're after to you first as of now, because then you've got this already inside of you. And then it will be easy as well to go outside to get this relationship because you're already a match for this type of relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Claudia. You got to believe what you desire, you got to believe. It- If you believe in the red flags will keep showing up. But if you believe, you know what? I'm beautiful and I am worthy. I wish there was somebody who said once there's a difference between a girl who looks like a supermodel and a girl who knows that they are ugly. They can never be a model. And he said the difference is that person that we say they are ugly, they know who they are and they know what they want in life and they go and get it. And it was like sometimes you will see a man is walking with a girl or a girl is walking with a man, and you're like, what did that girl see in that man? You wonder, what did she see? She saw something that she's never seen in her life. She saw a kind man, a man who respects her, a man who loves her for who she is. And to her, she was never going to let that man go because her herself, she believed in herself, and she believed that she deserved that man. She believed that she deserved to be treated beautifully, and she believed that she deserved to get married, and that's why that man married her. And even this man as well, this woman that you see her, the man, is the same thing. People, they get what they want in life because they believe they deserve it. They believe, not they deserve it. They believe that is their blessings. They believe in the blessings and they believe in miracles and they believe in this thing where you go get what you want. It's not easy, but you just have to understand the power of rising. Keep rising. And when you fall, you pick yourself up. If you enter a relationship, if it's not what you thought it would be, who cares about people? Don't worry about people. People worry about people. That my family, what am I going to say to my friends? 99% of people don't really, they don't take notice of what is going on around. When you tell them, they're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, okay. So people care sometimes. So you don't have to worry about what people will think, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And when your life is not going well, who feels the pain? When you're dating that toxic guy, dating that toxic woman, who feels it? Who feels the depression? So it's truly, truly important to just make sure that you work on yourself and also practice mindful and emotional awareness is really, really important. Staying in the present moment, and that is really, really important. If something doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. And also don't come in a place of judging. Just come in a place where if something doesn't feel right, seek professional guidance if needed. You don't have to tell the person that you are dating that you're seeking help. You can just seek help without you telling them first, and see how things goes. If it comes to a time where you feel actually my instincts are right, then that's when you both have to face that situation, that decision, and say, listen, this is what I have decided to do. I feel I have to do this. Remember, it's got nothing to do with your spouse. When you feel that you have to work on yourself, it's every man for himself. But if your spouse agrees to go into therapy, don't deny that person. Go to therapy together as a team and get help together. But what you don't do is try to force somebody or give an ultimatum and say, or else, come with me for therapy or else. Even if that person goes, It's never their decision. They've been forced to go. And through that therapy, they will realize that it's not what they want to do. It will make things worse.
Yeah, especially as well, like when the partner is, when you gave them multiple chances in regards to change and they are saying so, but they're not doing anything about it. So this is as well important, like, just like as well, one of the signs as well to look at and to consider, people pleasing too. People pleasing as well, like people pleasers have as well, like typically as well, like poor boundaries. And again, this is perfect as well for the toxic person as well to identify this and to sense it out. And then they can just like easily as well, again, take advantage as well of us, if we are like people pleasers, and trust as well, like trusting too early can make us as well a target, because trust is earned and not given. So this is what I like to say. Okay, it's just like, especially with me, when I was born in Germany, I grew up in Germany, and the Germans are a bit more known for, like a bit distant to begin with, but once you earned their trust and so on, they are very loyal. So yeah, trust is earned and not given, because that is, a person as well needs to demonstrate as well, like trustworthy qualities before, you ideally as well would like to invest a lot of time as well in them. And granted, trust is not just an on-off thing as well. And there are different levels as well of trust, still, you can't just let anyone into your inner circle, or they may as well just take advantage of you as well. So again, like discernment is important here for people you meet, and to listen to intuition or the red flags, but as well the intuition can show you as well that something might be off or good as well with the person, depending what it is. Just like intuition and trust too, like see how are they being, are they doing and saying the same thing with you? It's just like, some things as well to consider.
I like you, Claudia, when you talk about trust, because trust is really, really important. And also not rushing things, taking time. Also focus on your values as well is really, really important. Consider the things that you value. What are your values in a relationship? And also, do those values, how they align with the people you want around you is really, really important, because when you date somebody that does not align with what you're looking for, in the realm of the spirit, it means there's conflict. So you don't want that conflict. You want to stay together, be in one. You want whatever decisions you make to align with what you are looking for. So which is why that you have to. And also, people don't understand the power, when this motivational speakers, when they speak, or the pastors, when they say the words that we speak, the thoughts become things, or whatever we do in life, the decisions that we make. So it means that if you believe that your life should be that, everything you do has to align with that. And also, God is a God of, when you ask him what you want, the things that you want in life, he gives you what you want, or sometimes he might connect you with that person that is toxic. And when you say, oh God, give me a husband, give me a wife, he'll connect you with the person that is toxic, just to test you, for you to see the red flags, to see whether are you actually ready to enter into a relationship. And sometimes people actually, they go through the relationship, even if the relationship is not right, they go through with it. They're like, I got to, they use age. Like, I've got kids, no one is going to want me. Say those things. So for me, I just believe that there's everybody for everybody out there. And I just believe, I trust God so much in a way that I believe in the power of my own blessings. I believe in the power of me not comparing my life with anybody. And I believe that Nomsa's destiny is unique, it's his individual. If I'm with a man that does not value me, there's no place for that man. Honestly, there is no place. If a man gives me an ultimatum and say, Nomsa, choose between me and this, it shows me that there's the relationship is never going to work. I've heard people saying, I gave my wife an ultimatum, I gave my husband an ultimatum, and I'm thinking, seriously, you mean I'm going to say, Claudia, if you want to marry me, you got to do this or else? That becomes a prison, guys. In the realm of the spirit, it becomes a prison. And that's why you find that when somebody gives an ultimatum, you can't be happy. There are some people who never fulfill their dreams because they met these toxic people. They control you. And when they control you, you are like, you want to please them. People pleaser, Claudia, you mentioned that. You want to please them because you feel that if I don't please this person, they're not going to want me. If somebody is not going to want you anyway, they're not going to want you, honestly. But if somebody wants you, I'm sure, Claudia, there's times where you met your spouse and he loves you too much and you were like, okay, I manifested to have a man, but not like this. I need my space. So you need that guy. Women out there who are listening, you need a guy that enters your life and they just want it all. They're like, I just want to be with you. They keep themselves and you be yourself. They allow you to be you. And even men, I'm sure you want to date a woman that allows you to be you, that lets you be, not control you or change you, not like tells you that you can't wear that, you can't do that. So I'm sure there's men out there. If you are that man who's going through a toxic relationship, or you are that woman going through a toxic relationship, I'm sure there's a way out. Me, I just believe in God, guys. I don't believe in living in an option with something. If my business is not going well, I don't look at somebody else's business and say, I wish I had that. No, that would be me insulting God. I just say, God, bless me. Give me undeserving miracle. Even with a man, I do the same. Over to you, Claudia.
Yes, as you did say as well, obviously there is a way as well to stop and to end those toxic relationships as well. The thing is, as well as these types of pattern we have inside of us, they usually stem from roots in our childhood as well. So actually, and we are not really usually good as well as looking within and being really truly honest as well with us. So therefore, actually, it is recommended as well to working with a professional as well, can play like an important role in the recovery, because when we are together with the coach as well, like one of our beautiful and great coaches as well here in the group, you know, they help you as well to unravel where it stems to begin with. So the root cause as well. And then they can actually as well safeguard you in finding the best way as well from here to move forward and to change things. So this is as well one way how we can actually stop those toxic relationships. And the thing is as well, I just realized, I mean, I did have as well toxic relationships like many, many years ago, like, just happens sometimes in life. But looking back, when people say, if we look back at those challenging people we met sometimes, that we can actually be grateful for them today, for back then, because they taught us important lessons. They brought us as well on important new paths in our life as well, because if I would not have done anything about this relationship back then, I would not have started my healing journey as well. I would not be interested in spirituality and healing and how the mind works and manifesting and everything. So you can see what I mean. So probably this was part of one of my soul lessons, to meet this gay man back then. Not a beautiful relationships, but then I come out of it and then I realize actually, okay, it's time to do something about my feeling, about the energy, about attracting as well those unpleasant people into my life. And that actually has led me to where I am today. So what about you? Do you have something similar as well in your life happened? A bad relationship in the past?
Oh yes, for me, what happened was I was a daddy's girl in my life. I was a dead mommy's girl. Like mama, I was my parents' girl. Not because my parents spoiled me. I think I had that relationship with my parents where I was very, very close to my parents. And my parents, their discipline, they never believed in hitting a child. They believed in explaining the wrongs and the rights. What happens when you wrong somebody? What happens when you don't listen? So they believe in that and they give you love. And when you grow up with those parents like that, it means when you do something naughty, you feel guilty. And also when I became older now, I was entering the relationship because I was not used to getting told off. I was used to my parents sitting me down if I do something wrong and they will explain. So I needed that relationship to be the same. But I realized that all my relationships were going wrong because I didn't know that my parents were my parents. That I needed to treat them as an individual with the people that I date. So I needed to know that people are different. So now when my relationship did not work out, it was then, and then I had to search through my heart. What is the problem? And then I realized I was looking for a man who behaves like my father, who behaves like my stepfather, who behaves like my mom, and who does not tell me off, who explains to me when things, and then I realize that sometimes in relationship, it doesn't happen. People, they tell you off because they believe they have a right to do so. But I realized that all those kind of men as well, they were no good for me, because if I'm doing something wrong, a man has to explain his needs. A well-cultured man will sit me down and explain to me and say, listen, these are my needs, these are my desires, so I understand. Honestly, Claudia, I could not understand. When somebody tells me off, I'll be like, honestly, I'll be really, really scared because I'm not used to it. So then in the end, when I went through the therapy, I became to understand now that yes, it's normal when people raise their voices. It's not that my parents did not raise their voices against each other. They did, but I think in secret. So for me, I never ever witnessed my parents raising voices. So that affected me in a relationship, which I needed to get therapy. And it worked. And through that therapy, I had to learn that people show up different. So now I've learned to deal with different characters. When this person comes into me and they're like this, I have to learn. I've learned to deal with those characters, and I've learned to deal with men when I'm dating a man. I just to love that person and know that they're not my dad. My dad was a different man, and they're showing up different as well. So all these things is the things that I have had to learn. If we weren't that, I don't think I would have landed. Like I used to date my ex, my daughter's father. He could never understand why I wasn't getting angry. I don't know how. Me, I tell people off, but I would never get angry with anybody. So he couldn't understand why. He used to call me not normal. And I used to explain to him, for me, getting angry with somebody is a waste of time. And it does not mean that I don't take things as serious. I do. But what happens if I get angry with you? And tell me the results that I get that will make me feel better. And he couldn't. By the time he could not understand. And then later on, when we split up, and he came back and said, now I get you. Or if things go wrong in a relationship or a business, it doesn't go well, I will just pray and ask God to show us different ways how we can do things, approach things different. But he couldn't understand why I wasn't going into stress mode and something. And I was like, I grew up in Africa. I grew up with nothing. Watching other families, although I was fortunate, I grew up having to see different families. My dad was coming from different family, my stepdad, so I got to learn different things. And I was like, now I'm in the United Kingdom, and I don't take this life for granted because of me being here. I feel fortunate. Honestly, I feel wealthy being in the UK. I don't know about you. You come from Germany anyway, you are in Europe. So it's different than somebody who comes from Africa. So in the end, he couldn't understand it. But in the end, he understood. He said, Nomsa, I understand you. And now I think I need to adapt your attitude. Because every time I look at myself, I'll be like, I can't complain. I'm so grateful to God. Somebody is in Africa, they don't have food. But with me, I open this fridge, it's full. It has food. So what is there to complain? So I think finding gratitude and knowing your worthiness, it gives you that courage to say, I'm not going to allow any man or any woman enter my life and take advantage of me. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
That was my words of encouragement, guys. I'm not doing it again. Over to you, Claudia.
Absolutely. And my words of encouragement are, you teach people how you want them to treat you. So you teach them, okay? So you cannot tolerate like poor behavior or disrespect. Basically, don't do this. And if you do so, people will treat you however you let them treat you, basically. Okay, so that's the thing as well, one of the learnings. Okay, so and we can't make excuses as well for toxic people as well. Otherwise, yeah, it's just like it's been excused as well for us to be treated as well like this. So just like, no, just to stop it, identify and say enough is enough. And sometimes it's just best to walk away actually as well from people who don't treat you as well the way you want to be treated. Yeah. That sometimes is where we have to do just more.
You're watching us from YouTube, guys. Please subscribe to our channel. Any other social medias, please do follow us. And we have two groups, Unique Billionaire Mindset and Gossip Talk Shows. And please do share our videos with your families. We don't take your friendship for granted, guys. Wherever you may be, you are our family. And go to the website as well, www.hseia.coach, and sign up if you're looking for a relationship, if you are looking to find your own voice.